Hello students, welcome to EasyElimu, Learning Simplified. I am your teacher, Mr. Stanley Umbogo. Dear students, still on Fathers of Nation chapter summaries. In this session, we are doing a summary of chapter 12, that is by looking at the episode that we have in chapter 12. Chapter 12 has got one major episode as it talks about the summit only. But before we look at that, let us try and remind ourselves about the episodes that we were able to identify in chapter 11 of Fathers of Nations. So, dear students, chapter 11 of this wonderful novel talked about two major episodes. Uh, it talked about two major episodes. So, the first episode was about the cancelled dinner. This after Pastor Chiamaka was able to go through the Pinnacle's security clearance with ease. So his intention was to meet the head of state, Nigerian head of state, and ask him a few questions, if not many. Then the second episode that we were also able to identify in chapter 11 of Fathers of Nation was about now the meeting. This is a meeting that was held. It was a meeting that the four Path Alpha advocates had alongside their guide. And in attendance was also Mr. Tad Longway, who is the director for special projects at AGDA. So, dear students, in chapter 12, summary, we are going to look at the summit. So, we are told that the summit, the summit is officially on, dear students. So, we are reminded that it began with Gambia's national anthem, that is, for the Gambia, our homeland. Then the next thing, we have the Gambian president, who is described as an imposing figure. Even while seated, still seemed a gigantic statue that had got up for strolling his feet. So he echoes the task of the summit. And the task of the summit, dear students, was to adopt a common growth strategy for the people of Africa. So remember, this summit, dear students, is attended by 49 foreign heads of states. So if we include the presence of, the Gambia's president, that is the host, we have got 50 heads of state in the summit. So the president, who is the host, echoes the task, all right? So, which is to adopt a common growth strategy for Africa, to come up with a way of developing Africa. So, seated before him, just like I've mentioned, dear students, are 49 fellow heads of state. So, Gambian president finally opens the meeting. So, the new chair is His Excellency Miniko Menkiti. So we are having a new chair. Remember, we are told that as the host, he is supposed to, the Gambia's president is supposed to be the one chairing the summit. But previously, we had learned that he rejected the offer for personal reasons. He never wanted to please other heads of states and displease others. So the new chair is His Excellency Miniko Menkiti. So then we have Mr. Tiku Zinto, who is the Minister of Development Planning in an island country. So he's seated on the chair's right hand side. And Dr. Folabi, remember Dr. Folabi, dear students, is an advisor to help the summit along. So he's going to advise the heads of state on the Way Alpha strategy. But we also know of his other role. That is ensuring that the path alpha, that is arrival strategy, is included or put on the summit's agenda. So those are the roles that Dr. Afolabi is playing in this chapter. So we are told that Mr. Zinto is the first speaker. So he's given Mr. Zinto, who is the Minister of Development Planning in an island country, is given the chance to give his speech by the chair. So in his speech, he is begging, he's trying to convince and also begging the leaders to adopt Way Omega, saying that if they did so, Africa will start developing tomorrow. And is it really true that if Way Omega strategy is adopted, Africa will instantly start developing? So he takes a lot of time, that is, Mr. Zinto takes a lot of time as compared to the time that was allocated for him. So he eats into the time of other speakers, and again his speech was not highly welcomed by the heads of states, as a few stopped listening and started yawning. So he concluded by doing that. That is by begging the heads of state to do what? To adopt a Way Omega, saying that if they did so, Africa will start developing instantly. So again, the next speaker is now Dr. Afolabi. So Dr. Afolabi is given the chance to speak. So he's the next speaker, and is only allocated 7 minutes to give his speech instead of 15. So this is after Minister Zinto, or Mr. Zinto, had eaten into his time. So in his speech, dear students, Dr. Afolabi makes two requests. So the first request that he makes is to share the allocated time. Remember, he has got some five friends, sorry. He has some, he tagged along with the 5 friends. So the first one is Mr. Thad Longway. We have Pastor Chiamaka, Professor Kimani, Engineer Tahir, and lastly, Comrade Melusi. So the first request is to share the allocated time with these 5 gentlemen. Then another request that he also make in his speech is to present another document that he would have commented on given time. So he wants to present the Path Alpha document, but he won't comment about it because there is no time. He is not given much time. So the 5 gentlemen were given time. That is starting with Mr. Tad, to Pastor Chiamaka, to Professor Kimani, and next to Engineer Tahir. So they all gave their views in the summit and their opinions and their way forward. So Comrade Melusi was the last to speak. So we are told that, dear students, Comrade Melusi fails to speak during his time to greet the summit. So after all the 4 had spoken, Comrade Melusi fails to speak. So we are told that he instead walks away from the microphone. So he walks away from the microphone, veers off course, and hurtles towards the ruler of Zimbabwe, dear students. And what is the intention? The intention is to avenge the life of Ziliza. So remember previously, we learned that on the previous day, we learned that Comrade Melusi had got plans for avenging the death of his wife Ziliza, but it was not revealed yet whoever was going to be punished. That is as a result of avenging the loss of the wife. So he intended to punish, or rather to hurt the ruler of Zimbabwe. So after that, the chair of the summit manages to restore order. That is after a very great effort. So Dr. Afolabi concludes by saying that he had gone through the 2 documents very carefully. Then he also gives his opinion that way omega is big on ideas and path alpha is small. But when it comes to implementation of these two documents, dear students, we are told that way omega is weak on, implementation, whereas path alpha is strong when it comes to implementation. So Dr. Fulabi is not clear. He is not clear. So the heads of state start the debate sluggishly. So the chair notices this. So the chair is able to notice that people are not into the summit. So they are requested to stand and stretch first before the debate continues. So after this break that the heads of state are given, we are told that they come after an hour of the break. So Didier Baguria, that is Simba Imbarosa, King Zemba Zemba IV, President Bibo Dibonso, and Wasiwasi Wesiga are among the presidents who have contributed. So they are among the presidents who have, aired out their views with regards to the documents tabled on the summit's agenda. So President Wasiwasi Wesiga spotted the brewing trouble and moved to a point of order. So he noticed that there was trouble, there was some looming danger. So he moved to a point of order on the chairman and reminded the chairman about the trick that we are also getting to know. So at this point, dear students, the chair decides to propose two measures to relieve this tension. So the first measure, dear students, is adjournment of the meeting and to come up with a method committee. So what's the purpose of this method committee that we are also coming across for the first time? So this committee consists of people. So it is a committee that will work this evening because the summit has been adjourned to for another day. So the committee will work and give a report to the summit first thing the following morning. That is on how to come up with a way of an agreement. So the chapter, dear students, ends when the chair declares the meeting adjourned. So the meeting comes to a close, it comes to an end, and it is supposed to continue the following day after the method committee uh, uh, has come up with a what? With a plan on how to go about these two documents. So thank you for watching, dear students, and keep it easy, Elimu. Until next time, I am your teacher, Mr. Stanley Ombogo. Bye.